Hola mi gente, it's August. We're back again with another recipe. Today's gonna be a pretty simple, pretty easy dish. Something real quick and easy to make. It's not like the pollo guisado that took 2 days to make it. Today we are actually going to be making cabbage. And so, very easy, very quick recipe. Everything you need is gonna be right here. You're gonna need 1 head of cabbage, 1/4 of an onion. If you really like onion that much, you can use half an onion. 1 to 2 pounds of sausage. This is chicken apple sausage, but really you can use whatever type of sausage you want. Andouille, smoked sausage, even chorizo if you want. Avocado oil, black pepper, garlic powder, vegetable broth or vegetable stock, whichever one you prefer and you can get your hands on. This is all they had at the store. And tomato paste, and that's pretty much it. And so I'm gonna show you how to dice up everything. All right, so first we're gonna start dicing up the cabbage. Now I already rinsed it off and washed it, so this tough bottom part right here, we're gonna go ahead and cut that off. Sorry, I'm right-handed, and you always want to be safe in the kitchen. All right, that part we're not gonna really use. If you recycle, if you compost, you could do that, but other than that, you can just throw it away. Once you cut that end off, you're just going to cut the cabbage right down the middle in half. Alright, so now the cabbage is cut in half. Now I washed the outside, but you're still going to want to go back and just run some water through, because sometimes dirt, other things can get in between the leaves, especially those outer leaves. So just go ahead, run it over some water just one more time again, just to help clean it all out. Let's go ahead and stop. All right, so I had my pot preheating with a little bit of the avocado oil. Like I said, I'm using chicken apple sausage. This doesn't make a lot of grease from it, and so I want to use a good bit. But if you're using like a pork sausage or andouille that's gonna have a lot of grease, you don't have to use as much oil. So I'm gonna just throw this in, kind of stir it around. You can see I cut it up into little small pieces, and we're just gonna let that brown for a bit. Now while this is browning, I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and cut up your cabbage. So the cabbage, we're gonna cut it lengthwise, then turn it, and then cut it that way. All right, so, and it don't have to be perfect, it don't have to be even, so you can cut it about 4 ways going that way, and then we'll turn it and then cut it 3 or 4 ways going this way, however much you can get it. Like I said, it don't have to be perfect, especially greens. If you didn't already know, they cook down very well. So even though it might seem like you have a lot of greens, once they start to heat up and braise down, they're gonna shrink up a lot. It's gonna have a lot of shrinkage. All right, and we'll do the same one with this one. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut it this way. Time. And then you just turn it and cut through it again. And it's gonna be better to use your sharpest knife possible. I should have probably sharpened this knife some more. And then if you have some leaves that fall off, like as you were washing, you can just go ahead and rip and tear them apart. It ain't nothing. And then as you're cutting, if you notice there's a piece that's a little bit bigger, chunkier, just go ahead, do this, rip it apart. Like we said, it ain't gonna have to be perfect. All right, come back to the sausage, stir it around. It's gonna probably take about, 5 to 7 minutes for the sausage to brown. I have my stove on a 7. I might go ahead and just bump it up to 8. To make it brown a little faster. So once this is brown, we're gonna be right back. All right, now that you see the sausage is starting to get a good little browning on it, we're gonna go ahead and throw in our onion. I finally diced the onion. And so we can throw this in and just saute it until your onions get translucent. Now, I like my onions cooked down really, really nice. So I'll cook them down for about, 8 to 10 minutes because I like them well done. All right, so once our onions are sauteed real well, we'll get back. All right, it's been about 6 minutes. My onions are looking pretty translucent, a little brown. So now we can take our vegetable stock. We're gonna pour about half a cup of it in here. All right, and then just stir that around. If your sausage browned up really nice and you have the little burnt stuck on bits in the bottom, make sure to scoop those up because that's gonna give you all your flavoring in that little gravy. And to this, we're gonna add our 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. All right, and then just stir that around to break it up a little bit. Tomato paste is just gonna give it another little depth of flavor. It's not gonna taste tomatoey, but just give it a slight hint and also a good little color. All right, now that vegetable broth that we used already had salt in it, unless you make a homemade one and you don't have no salt. So I think we're going to salt. We're going to add some garlic powder though. About 1.5 teaspoons. And then about a teaspoon of black pepper. All right. Now the liquid isn't going to boil yet, but it's going to start smoking, steaming a little bit. Once it starts steaming, that's when it's time for us to throw in our cabbage. Now, like I said, I know this seems like a lot, but once it starts to cook down and wilt, it's going to cook down very well. All right. If in your case, if you can't fit it all in your pot at once, that's okay. Just put in as much as you can. Don't overcrowd it. Don't stress it. Just let some of it cook down, and then you can come back and add some more. So like for right now, my pot's pretty full. I'm gonna let this cook down a bit, and then I'm gonna come ahead and add the rest of that. All right, some of the cabbage wilted, so I was able to add in the rest. At this time, you ain't gonna be able to stir it perfectly, but kind of start moving some of it around. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit more of that vegetable broth to help it steam. So now, just cover it and gonna let it steam until the cabbage is all good and wilted down, and I'll show you what that looks like. Come back every few minutes, just to stir it up so the same cabbage isn't staying on the bottom. But it'll be probably about 10 minutes and we'll come back. All right, y'all. So I had to go for a little longer than 10 minutes. I'll let it kind of stew and cook down for about 20, but you see how that cabbage cooked down nice. And then I did have to add, about a half a cup of liquid because it was starting to get a little dry. But keep in mind that as your cabbage cooks down, it's going to release a lot of liquid. And so you don't want to go too crazy with adding the liquid. And then I tasted it. I added just a little bit of chicken bouillon powder to give it a little extra flavor. But just about half a teaspoon of it, not a lot. And here it is, your cabbage. So just a plate, real nice over some rice. My fiance Chris made some good old cornbread on the side. There's the rice, we had some left over. Now this is a meal that you can freestyle. If you're vegan or you like to do veggie meals, Tabitha Brown did a great version of this, but with Beyond Meat sausage. If you're not a fan of Beyond Meat, you can cut up some portobello mushrooms into some bite-sized pieces and use that in place of the sausage. If you want some more meat, you can add in some ham hocks or some smoked ham in here too and have it cooked down with the cabbage. Any way that you want to do it, you can kind of freestyle a little bit. And so we're going to plate and show you what the final product looks like. This could also be used on the side. So let's say you want to do a pork roast. This could just be your side. I like cabbage enough that I could just eat it as a meal. So I'm going to plate it, show you the final product. Oh, y'all, don't that look good? So that's it. This is my cabbage recipe. In Louisiana, we always do cabbage on top of rice. But you know, you can have it however you want. Alright. Check the description for all the ingredients. Like my channel, subscribe, share this video, spread the word. You know, I'm trying to be on the up and up with these cooking videos. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Buen provecho.